Flood. More flooding? Next on Fly JBS. Hi folks, welcome to the channel. My name is Jeff Stevenson and I own this Cessna 172 N model with the tail number of 5382 Delta. If you've been watching my recent videos, you know that flooding has been a major part of my journey as a pilot and an airplane owner.
I made those videos to document the floods of mid-March and early April 2019. By mid-April, the crest hit and the floodwaters began to recede. I flew the airplane from its temporary home in Salem, Missouri, back to its permanent home in St. Charles, Missouri, and tried to resume my normal flying routine, despite the heavy rains that continued to fall every couple days. On Wednesday, May 1st, the airport manager at my home airport sent out a new warning message. The floodwaters were once again rising, and this new flood would rise more rapidly than the last flood. The predicted crest was high enough to flood my hangar, so I immediately headed out to my airport and flew my airplane to the safety of another nearby airport. It happened so fast that I did not shoot any footage of the flight departing the soon-to-be-flooded airport. I did get footage of my new cowl plugs that I purchased to keep birds out of the engine compartment. I watched the flooding forecast as the predicted crest continued to rise with each new update. My hangar was sure to flood, but just how serious would this new flood turn out to be? By the time the airport closed due to water covering the intersection of both runways, almost all of the flyable airplanes based there were transported to other airports. St. Charles Flying Service, which is a flight school and maintenance shop based at the airport, set up temporary operations at the same airport where my airplane took refuge. Even the CAF flew out its B-25 and other World War II aircraft. By Sunday, May 5th, the river was about to crest, and the weather presented great flying conditions. I wanted to check out the depth of the flood waters at the airport. I grabbed a couple of my friends, Randy and Scott, and together we flew from the airplane's new temporary home at Creve Coeur Airport back to see its normal home base. What you're about to see is footage shot at the time of or just before the river's crest. There is something you should know as you see this next footage. I purchased a brand new GoPro Hero 7 Black camera since the last flood to go along with my much older GoPro Hero 3 White. I'm amazed by the awesome quality of the footage shot by the GoPro Hero 7 Black camera. The camera is a great addition to my video gear bag. The only issue with the new camera is learning how to operate it correctly. For most of this flight, I had the camera set on the time warp feature, which speeds up the footage by 10 times. While it looks good, I wonder if I can get better results from the camera. I can change how fast the camera records the footage, and I will undoubtedly continue to play around with the settings, trying to get the optimal speed for the best footage. Still, quite a bit of this footage turned out fairly well, and I want to show it here. I did slow down the sped up footage, but the video helps show the extent of the high waters at the airport. I made several low passes over the runways, approaching the airport from a variety of directions. For the most part, I tried to stay over the approximate locations of the runways once I approached the airport. I debated on whether or not I should chop up the footage and create individual shots of the different low passes over the airport. In the end, I decided that leaving the footage intact made the most sense and allows the viewer to get a sense of what the flight felt like and what we saw as we went round and round, making the low passes over the closed runway. As we fly over the airport once again, one can see several airplanes tied down on the ramp. One can even see people on the runways working to move additional equipment out of the flooding. My EAA chapter, Chapter 32, had to move a bunch of equipment out of our building or off the floor so that the rising floodwaters would damage as little as possible. A big, huge thanks to Dave Doherty, the president of the chapter, and many others who helped move and secure chapter belongings and equipment. The flooding makes an impressive sight. The water was glassy smooth during the video shoot, and it does not look dangerous at all. This appearance is an illusion. While the flood may not have the immediate impact of a tornado or hurricane, it slowly rots away at the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of its victims. A flood may be slow to act, but then it lingers, seeking out and filling every nook and crevice until its destructive force is unmistakably felt. St. Charles County Smartt Airport is known for flooding. As tenants and occupants, we accept that these nearby waters will occasionally rise. We know that there are times that we will need to seek higher ground. But dealing with the floods take a mental toll on even the most prepared. We all anxiously wait for the waters to recede so that life may return to normal. Even then, returning to normal will take time. Flights, events, and even scheduled maintenance and repairs were postponed and canceled due to the flood. The annual inspection of my airplane will undoubtedly be delayed this year due to the flood. Cleanup is a big, messy job that will require many people. Recovering from the flood will not be easy, nor will it be quick.
As I fly over the airport, I see that every building has had some flooding during this May 2019 flood.
I make one final low pass over the airport, this time crossing the field on a diagonal approach that will take me directly over my hangar. I see that floodwaters still cover both runways, including the intersection of those runways. And in the distance behind the runways, a lonely row of empty hangars, including the one hangar that normally houses my airplane, sits firmly entrenched in the floodwaters.
Well, the crest hit 32.1 feet at Smartt. That's high enough to put several feet of water in my hangar. As I fly over the hangar, I can still see water. More than a week after the floodwater entered my hangar. This indeed turned out to be a bad year for flooding.
The May 2019 flood was a trying experience, but at least the airplane was safe and sound and away from the waters that flooded the St. Charles County Smartt airfield. Thanks for watching and flying with me today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to the channel. Flying a small airplane is lots of fun, and sharing my experiences through YouTube videos is just part of that fun. Until next time, may you find blue skies and tailwinds.